最後に一つ。
何？
正親様はおっしゃっていました。ユキ様がこの世で最も大切な人間に変わりはないと。ユキ様。
あっぶねえ。思わず校舎のど真ん中でお兄ちゃんへの愛を叫ぶところだったぜ。
So 𝐒𝐿 is back once again with episode number 7. And this episode was all about Ayano. Finding out more about Ayano's backstory as she was kind of introduced as like the little carrot being dangled at the end of the episode, kind of like, I don't want to necessarily call it cliffhanger, but she was like that big moment at the end of episode 6. And we come to find out that she has ties to the 𝐒𝐻 family. And, you know, here's the thing is, I still think this is peak anime. I think this is the best anime of the season. And yes, I've watched every other anime this season so far. I've had a lot of people tell me what they think is the best anime. And hey, you're going to feel how you're going to feel. To me, this is the best anime of the season. I do think that there are another couple of anime that are very close to it. But, you know, just my enjoyment level, I think this is the one that, for my taste, suits me the best. Now, one of the things I did criticize, though, about this anime, even though it's peak, Yuki makes the show. I love Yuki so much. But one of the things I harped on was very much like, what's the Masachika Yuki situation? Like, what is it? Like, is it divorce? Like, why have they been hiding that they're siblings, that they're brother and sister? What's been the big thing there? Because that's been bothering me all season long. I think it's probably, out of all the things that occurs in the anime, that's the one thing that doesn't make sense, and I think it's silly. And a lot of you in the comments, thank you guys for, you know, kind of hinting but not straightforwardly telling me what's gonna happen. Because I think some of you are familiar with the source and you're like, hey, just wait, you're gonna find out, kind of thing. One of the things I was discussing with you guys back and forth in the comments was like, I just don't see anything that can really make it not silly for them to hide it, outside of just like that. It's just, you know, plot armor essentially for them to be able to hide it so that there can continue to be confusion and stuff. And I know a lot of you have said, like, if they were to say it, that would change the dynamic of the show. And I really don't think that it would, because the dynamic of the show is really Alya speaking Russian to somebody she likes and Masachika understanding her. But for whatever reason, also just not admitting to himself that he likes her, which is also weird, but I'm not going to harp on that. So that's the core thing of the show. So I don't think it would change anything. The only thing I think it would change is like, okay, now they have a bro-con, sis-con type relationship, which I think is just so common anyways. But this episode revealed to us, essentially what ended up happening is Kuze and Yuki's dad, or Masachika and Yuki's dad and mom, got a divorce. I'm assuming that the 𝐒𝐻 name is part of, and I feel like they did cover it, but I don't quite remember. But I feel like basically Yuki goes to mom, Masachika goes to dad. And I feel like what ended up happening is Yuki's mother's dad probably didn't approve initially of the husband of the dad. And he's probably one of those guys like, he's a piece of shit, he's not good enough for you type deal. And reason is he seems like he's like a CEO, or he has like a you know, big Japanese company type deal. They're important people. So when whatever happened, he probably he's like, I'm cutting y'all off. And then for whatever reason, grandpa's a big piece of doo-doo too, because Masachika went like, oh, well, I'm going to go with my dad. He's like, if you do that, I'm going to cut you off, blah, blah, blah. And you can't claim Yuki as your sister. Like, just some manipulative bastard. And just dumb. So essentially the big thing that they've been hiding to us is the reason that Yuki and Masachika don't claim each other is because Grandpappy said, you know, you can't claim her anymore. It's like, well, fuck off, Grandpa. What is he gonna do? If Masachika goes to school tomorrow and tells the school, Yuki's my sister, what is he gonna do? Nothing. He's not gonna do anything. So I still think my real feelings about it have just come out. I think it's just a silly plot armor type story deal. Like, This episode, you know, he did tell Ayano, because Ayano was introduced to us, and she basically has been serving the family. Or I guess it's her mom and dad have worked for the family, so she's kind of just inherited, you know, following Yuki and Masachika around since she was a kid and stuff. And because they work for the company, she's gonna kind of work for them too, kind of thing. And you know, she talks to Masachika because of, you know, the thing that he's deciding to, you know, be a running mate with Alya. And like, why does the grandpa care about, you know, school, like student council and stuff? Like, okay, whatever, dude. But that's a big, you know, no. And, you know, Masachika had to say, like, you know, I love Yuki the most in the world. You know, she's the most important person. And, you know, just kind of put Ayano's worries to bed. And, you know, he basically hit her with, like, you know, if Papa has a problem, come tell me to my face, kind of thing. It's like, okay, take that same bravado that you just crawled up into your ass and also tell her, I'm gonna claim my sister because she's my sister and you can't do anything about it. Because he really cannot. So, you know, we have that whole storyline, and then we also see Ayano's backstory of, like, you know, she's been trained in a dojo, and you know, she trained in this and trained in that to be sneaky and useful for the family or whatever. You know, the family, you know, the family that her family serves business and stuff like that, and that all makes sense. She's called the sub, which is like the, you know, the servant under brother or something like that. Something silly, I don't know, whatever it was. But I thought that was a really funny scene. I enjoy the best moment of the scene was definitely Yuki, because Ayano is telling Yuki about, like, you know, oh, your brother said you're the most important person in the world, and she's like. And she had to, like, you know, stop herself from yelling, like, I love you, brother, to the school. And it was a very cute thing, but so effing funny. So it's those moments like that, like, yes, I'm going to harp and bitch and complain about this one silly thing on the show. But the reality is, like, it would take me, like, if so far the show's like a 9 out of 10 to me, it would maybe be like a 9.2 or something like that. Like, it would be like, you know, maybe a smidge. Maybe the show's an 8.5. Let me give it an 8.5. It would be a 9 if they didn't have the, you know, the stupid storyline stuff with the family. But outside of that, like, this episode was awesome. Like, I laughed a lot. I think that's the important thing. I thought it was very entertaining. The Ayano stuff is pretty funny. I like how she's sneaky. I like how she has the eyes of servitude. I think all that's really funny. At the end of the episode, they were this girl named Tanamiya, I think is her name. She was the girl who got all boo-hooey because she lost in the student council in middle school. She comes and she starts yelling at Alya. She gets all Karen up in her face about taking away Kuze or whatever. I don't know what her deal is, really. Do you have a crush on the guy? I don't know. She thinks he's a loser also, but then she basically challenges him at the end of the episode. That's where we leave off on a student council something congress or something. I think what they mean is like a debate. I think she's like challenging them to a debate. And you know, based on everything we know at this point, like, Masachika is gonna win, you know. But the main problem is Alya decided to stick her nose in it too, and she's kind of the variable that, like, could make them lose. So, anyways, this episode was pretty good. I just think it finally revealed the thing I wanted to know the most, and I was extremely disappointed at the reason. And no matter what anybody says, like, that's my opinion. I'm digging my heels in the sand of, like, I think that's a really dumb plot line. I don't mind the divorce. I don't mind that they're in split houses. I don't mind the bro-con, sis-con stuff, because, you know, they're not, there's nothing romantic behind it. They're just, you know, they're just genuine siblings that just really love each other, which totally makes sense. Like, you should love your brother, you should love your sister. I don't have siblings, but, like, I have my kids, like, and they love each other, like, tremendously. Like, you should, that's how it should be. So, like, no matter what, like, I don't mind the divorce and stuff, and I don't mind that maybe they wanted to kind of, like, not advertise it, but then the reason of, like, oh, they're not allowed to is just dumb. So that's the one thing I don't like. Regardless, though, it doesn't take away. Remember, it doesn't take away anything. The anime, to me, is still peak anime, still the best anime of the season. And still rocking an 8.5, maybe 9 out of 10. So, all right, my friends. I ranted a lot this week, so light me up in the comments. And I'll see you guys next week. Episode 8. Peace.